What was the land given to the tribes of Naphtali and Dan? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Joshua on Walking Through the Bible.
Of his word, the glory of his cross.
Today we're going to be discussing Joshua 19, verses 32 to 51. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to Joshua chapter 19, verse 32. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So Joshua 19, beginning at verse 32. The sixth lot came out to the children of Naphtali, for the children of Naphtali according to their families. And their border began at Heleph, enclosing the territory from the terebinth tree in Zaanannim, Adamai, Nekeb, and Jabneel, as far as Lachum. It ended at the Jordan. From Heleph, the border extended westward to Asnath-Tabor, and went out from there to Hukkok. It adjoins Zebulun on the south side and Asher on the west side, and ended at Judah by the Jordan towards the sunrise. And the fortified cities are Ziddim, Zur, Hamath, Rakath, Chinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, En-Hazor, Iron Migdal El, Horem, Beth-Anath, and Beth-Shemesh, 19 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, according to their families, the cities and their villages. The seventh lot came out to the tribe of the children of Dan, according to their families. And the territory of their inheritance was Zorah, Eshtaol, Shemesh, Shaalbim, Aijalon, Jethlah, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekah, Gibbethon, Baalath, Jehud, Beni-Berak, Gathrimmon, Mejarkon, and Rakon, with the region near Joppa. And the border of the children of Dan went beyond these, because the children of Dan went up to fight against Leshem, and took it. And they struck it with the edge of the sword, took possession of it, and dwelt in it. They called Leshem Dan, after the name of Dan their father. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Dan, according to their families, these cities with their villages. When they made an end of dividing the land as an inheritance according to their borders, the children of Israel gave an inheritance among them to Joshua, the son of Nun. According to the word of the Lord, they gave him the city which he asked for, Timnath-Serah, in the mountains of Ephraim, and he built the city and dwelt in it. These were the inheritances which Eleazar the priest, Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel divided as an inheritance by lot in Shiloh before the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. So they made an end of dividing the country. In chapters 18 and 19, we have been dealing with the land given to the final 7 tribes of Israel. Thus far, we've seen land given to Benjamin between Judah and Ephraim, land given to Simeon within the boundaries of Judah, meaning it bordered Judah on all sides, land given to Zebulun just north of Manasseh and west of Issachar, land given to Issachar just north of Manasseh and east of Zebulun, and land given to Asher along the Mediterranean coast north of Manasseh and Zebulun and west of Naphtali. This leaves us with 2 remaining tribes, the tribes of Naphtali and Dan. Let's begin with the tribe of Naphtali. Naphtali would receive the remaining land in the north of Israel, which would form the major part of what would be Galilee in the New Testament. In fact, most of the ministry of Jesus in Galilee will take place in land given to this tribe. Its borders would be Zebulun and Issachar on the south and Asher on the west, with the Jordan River as its eastern border. Naphtali's northern border extended as far north as Asher's border did, parallel to the city of Sidon, though Naphtali would rarely control land that far north, for the same reason that Asher didn't. They didn't cast out all the peoples of the land. The one peculiarity with Naphtali's border is what is mentioned in verse 34, which was that his border ended at Judah by the Jordan towards the sunrise. This, of course, is a peculiarity because Judah's border doesn't extend this far north. This peculiarity goes away, though, when we will find in 1 Chronicles chapter 2 that one of the descendants of Judah married one of the daughters of Machir, producing Jair as their offspring. In Numbers and Deuteronomy, this Jair is counted as a son of Manasseh in terms of inheritance through his mother, which meant that he inherited land east of the Jordan near the Sea of Chinnereth, which would be towards the sunrise from the perspective of the tribe of Naphtali. That this Jair was also the lineage of Judah was why he is mentioned this way here in Joshua. The major cities in Naphtali would include Kadesh, a city we'll talk about in chapter 20, and Hatzor, the city that was burned to the ground by Joshua in chapter 11. As far as the children of Naphtali are concerned, like it is with many of the northern tribes in Israel, we only hear about them from time to time. But in the book of Judges, they're going to play a major role in our study of Deborah, for Barak is going to be from this tribe, and the city of Kadesh, so they do play a part in Israel's history. Coming out of verse 40, we get the land given to the tribe of Dan. The tribe of Dan, since it was the second largest tribe in Israel at that time, did receive goodly land along the coast in Canaan, land that it should have been able to settle in easily. It would have Ephraim as its northern border, Benjamin as its eastern border, and Judah as its southern border. Zorah and Eshtaol, which had been given to the tribe of Judah, were reapportioned to the tribe of Dan in order to ensure that each tribe was given land suitable to their needs. The city of Zorah will be an important city to remember when we get to our study of Samson in the book of Judges. Dan was also given the city of Aijalon, near the Aijalon Valley, the valley that was important in chapter 10 in the battle with the 5 southern kings of Canaan who came to attack Gibeon. And then, of course, one city in the tribe of Dan that would probably jump out to New Testament students would be the coastal city of Joppa, the place where Cornelius in Acts 10 would be told to send for the apostle Peter, so that Peter could preach to him the gospel. That too laid within Dan's borders. But as we'll see in our study of Judges, Dan is not going to be very successful in driving out the peoples from his territory, being forced to settle with less than ideal territory within its borders. That is going to be one of the reasons as to why some of the tribe of Dan actually went up later after Joshua's death and fought against Leshem or Laish in the northern cities of Israel and took that city for itself, renaming it Dan. The story will be relayed to us in more detail in Judges 18, so we'll save most of our comments on it until then. But knowing that Danites existed up there will be important, for in the days of Jeroboam, 2 idols will be set up in northern Israel, one in the southern city of Bethel and one in the northern city of Dan. Without this knowledge presented to us here in Joshua and Judges, we'd have no idea why some Danites lived up that far north and would likely then be confused. After dividing up the land between the remaining 7 tribes, all that was left to do was to give to Joshua, the son of Nun, of the tribe of Ephraim, his inheritance. Joshua received at his request the city of Timnath-Serah, a city within the mountains of Ephraim. Timnath-Serah existed about 24 kilometers, 14 miles southwest of Shechem, and it was an attractive site for settlement because of its secure location with deeply cutting wadis running around it and its western view. With the land now fully divided between the tribes, the work of Joshua was done in this regard. Israel now lived in Canaan, inheriting the land that was promised to Abraham. Now, had they obeyed the voice of the Lord and utterly destroyed the Canaanites, the peace that they would have lasted. But alas, they compromised and let many of the peoples live, which led to trouble. The book of Joshua isn't over, though, for there is still the matter of the cities of refuge and the cities for the Levites to deal with, something we'll begin looking at, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Joshua chapter 20, verses 1 to 9, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.